This is the John's data presentation for the 2021 DataFest competition. The research question we decided to focus on is what's the relationship between demographic, drug use, drug, and age for each country. We found this data to be important in addressing the non-medical drug use issues in the 4 countries that we were given data for: the US, Germany, the UK, and Canada. The goal of our analysis was to be able to identify, for each of the 4 countries given, which age groups use which drugs the most, and what the overall drug use is for each age group. We believe that this analysis would be step 1 in solving non-medical drug use issues around the world because we need to know who is using the drugs and what they are using. The data that was used was provided by Rocky Mountain Poison and Drug Safety Center, and it contained surveys conducted by 4 different countries: Germany, Canada, the US, and the UK. The variables that we closely examined were age, demographics, type of drug, and drug use. To analyze these variables, we used techniques such as stacked bar graphs, Pearson's correlation test for determining correlation significance, and correlation plots and heat maps for visualizing correlation. Here you can see the plots of the trends for each of the 4 countries based on drug use and age group. We can see that codeine is the most used drug in all the age groups for Germany, Canada, and the UK out of the drugs we analyzed. But for the US, codeine makes up less of a proportion of the drug use cases. We can also see that the US has more drug use cases around the 25 to 34 age group, while the other countries seem to be a bit more evenly distributed. This means the age group may not be as big of a factor in Germany, Canada, and the UK in determining drug use as it is in the US. Also, we can see from these plots that the US has the most reported drug use cases out of these 4 countries. All of these things could be due to a difference in surveying techniques or the difference in culture between these 4 countries. Here you can see the plots of the correlations between the variables we used in each of the 4 countries. For the first set of correlation plots, the bigger the dot, the greater the correlation between the 2 variables. Also, if the dot is red, that means there's a negative correlation, and if the dot is blue, that means there's a positive correlation. Next, we have heat map plots for correlation. For these plots, the darker the square means the greater the correlation between these variables. As we can see, the US has the most different correlation brackets in the heat maps, meaning that the variables are correlated differently for the US compared to the other 3 countries. On this slide, we can see the different p-values for the correlation between the variables we used in each of the 4 countries. As we can see, the p-values for correlation are very different for each of the 4 countries, but most have a significant p-value, meaning most of these variables are correlated with each other in each country, with there being a few exceptions to that as well. What we found was which drugs are used the most in each country, which age groups use these drugs the most, and the correlation between the 4 variables that we analyzed: demographic, drug use, drug, and age. Now that the who, the what, and the relationship has been identified, future analysis would be beneficial to find why this is. This would be another step in the direction of solving the non-medical drug use issues around the world.